Hey, appreciate you being here, Carolyn. I want to talk to you just a little bit about, we were talking the other day. I kind of want to get back to the topic on coaches, not trainers, but coaches. You were with a couple of coaches or a few coaches. You switched to your current coach, which is who's your current coach again?
Shane Heugly.
Shane, and you found Shane. Did you know people that were using Shane, and you found him?
So my coach always talked about him. He's all like, man, look at the studs he's putting out. And of
Oh,
course he was. I mean, if you look at his page, like every other girl ends up being a pro within months or a couple of years of being with him.
yeah,
He's put out so many pros in the past year. It's been crazy. And then, yeah, there's a gentleman at the gym that I like to hang out with and talk to. And
yeah.
he kept bragging and saying that was his coach and how much he appreciated him. And you couldn't find a better coach. So we just kind of made that decision together, me and one of my old coaches. And we're like, okay, here we go. But it was kind of funny because, like, you think you can just go hire these guys, and you can't. I guess some of them you can, but I think at his level, I don't know. It was kind of like an interview process. It was
Yeah.
kind of fun.
Yep. Sure.
He's like, I got to make sure you're a good fit. And I'm like, but you coach like hundreds of people. Not be a good fit. I'm into
Yeah.
fitness. And I was like, okay. So he did his thing and whatnot. And I ended up being a good fit. And he's been cool ever since. So
And now,
far, so good.
yeah. And how long has that been, Carolyn? How long you
Eight,
been with Shane?
about 8 weeks.
About 8 weeks.
Hmm.
So when you
Yes, it
go
was.
and y'all are planning on doing a Utah show
Yep.
and the Chicago,
Yep.
if everything plans out, we don't know how everything's going to be right now. What
Right.
what what month is the Utah show in?
They're back to back, and they're both in June.
They're both in June. So really, right now everything's canceled. A lot of May shows. So we don't know
Hmm.
what's going to happen in June. Has that affected your prep?
No, I'm just like, I don't even know if like mentally, just with all the stuff going on and whatnot, I just in my head, I like Shane's been great dealing with like emotional stress that's been happening lately, and I was like, I don't even know if I would be ready by then. If you saw my post today, it
Yeah, I
said,
did.
changes come in small doses.
Yeah,
Trust the process and stay
that's right.
positive. That's a little chant to myself. That's not for anybody else besides myself. I'm like, look, there's a little shoulder popping out there. Oh, shit. Plus, I got the new outfit for my birthday. It was cute. And I was like, okay, that goes with it. So I'm like trying to stay positive that I will make those shows, but I I don't think this with all this stuff going on. I mean, the main thing was finding protein.
Yes.
It's hit or miss if you're going to get chicken.
Yeah.
If you get there right at 6 o'clock, it's still on the pallet and they'll get it off for you. Found that one out. But it was really cool because I bought some mahi, bought some shrimp, and I made sure like
Yeah.
it was kosher approved before I bought it. So there was ways around it, and like, and it was funny because me and him went to YTFS later that day, and I was like, and if we can't get protein, there's protein powder.
Yeah.
So it shouldn't affect prep. The only way it'll affect prep is going to a gym, but I have a home gym and stuff like that. So I can still get a workout and it won't be like as crazy as it would be in the gym, but it would
Yeah.
still be a good enough workout to get me to stage.
Hey, how are you handling this with your clients? How are as far as training and have you on some of your clients that you're working with, are you kind of pushing out? You're saying, hey, let's wait and see what's going to happen in the future. Let's slow prep down. What are you doing with them?
It's been very interesting. So powerlifters still full throttle because their shows are later in the year. So they're still doing what they're doing with the gym being open and stuff. They're going and doing their programs. Now when the gym is no longer available to us, that's going to be an issue for them. They're pretty much on standby, do home stuff, do what you can.
Yeah.
And of course, that's going to affect numbers and stuff when we come back. So it's going to be maybe a rebuild for most of the powerlifters. So depending on that and how long we're out and what the rebuild looks like, depends on what show they do.
Yeah.
But as right now, with the gym being open, we're going to push forward like nothing's happening. And I only have one bodybuilder as of right now that I feel like will be affected by it. And she's dual coached by me and Bobby Biddle. And we're treating her the same way. We're kind of pulling her out a little bit because she's so close. She's only like 5 weeks out.
Oh,
So we
wow.
pulled her back. Yeah, we don't want her to lose too much muscle. And they turn around and say, hey, we're pushing it till June or till May. So she can be ready in 3 weeks. So we're kind of just he has her on a maintain on her diet. And then like with my side is like the posing and the working out, making sure she's intense while I'm there, and just kind of having her back. Emotional side is just keeping her up and petting, not letting her think about this because she's a school teacher for like a preschool type thing. So they're going through all kinds of craziness right now. I mean, the teachers are getting hit hard.
Sure.
So yeah, I was like, you have enough stress on your plate. Don't even worry about the show. Just keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
But she's pretty positive. So she's just like, okay, upbeat, and there she goes. So for most part, they're just running their course. But as this gets more intense, I'm sure things are going to be definitely changing. And even if the gyms might be closed, I have a bunch of equipment. If they can all just come over to my house, and I'll I'll put some bars in my back of my trunk and I'll take them home. I'll be like, hey, Bobby, I'll bring these back when we open up. Powerlifting at my house.
Yep. That's exactly right. And, how are you treating the diet for your powerlifters? Are they right now, are they able to eat whatever it is they just want to eat? It doesn't matter.
No, I got with their show coming up, I want them to lose kind of like a bodybuilder. My mentality on their diet is the same mentality as a bodybuilder's diet. I want them to lose 1 to 2 pounds a week. I don't want a super fast weight loss. 1, they need muscle. 2, powerlifting is all about knowing your body, knowing where your compression lies, knowing your lever points. Because again, like I said, powerlifting, you think of your body as levers and pulleys, and where your load is going to be and where your body can handle that load and go down and come back up gracefully without hurting yourself. So as they are learning a new body, because they both have to lose about 20 pounds, the ones that are on the diet right now, those two are around 20-pound weight losses. And for that's a whole new body. And most powerlifters, they'll go in, they maintain their course, then they go sit in a sauna and kill themselves for like a week or 2 before the show to hit weight. Then once they hit weight, then they gorge themselves, get the compression back up, but it's all like water weight and they're miserable. And I mean, some of them do it, some of them don't, but I've seen a lot of them do it and it's unhealthy. And now you're getting underneath a bar where you're 20 pounds lighter, you're filled with water, you're miserable, you're tired, and you got a new body that you're putting underneath a new PR for yourself. That to me just screams injury in so many ways. So I take it so they learn their body as they go. It's slow changes. So it's not a huge drastic change. It's not, boom, you're 20 pounds lighter within just a couple of weeks, and now you have to learn how to squat again.
Yeah.
It's, I'm going to lose a pound. I'm going to slowly do this, and I'm going to slowly learn my new mechanics of my body, because as your body changes, your mechanics are going to change. Your beat placement are going to change. Your compression settings are going to change. So you literally, it is learning a new body every time you change weight. And that's the hardest and the most frustrating thing for a lifter and for a coach, to get them to understand that. Because you will hear so much. It's so funny in the powerlifting world because you hear a lot of different things. It's getting on the healthier side. There are your healthier type powerlifters, but there are the powerlifters that believe compression is everything. Compression helps 100%. I mean, that's what your reps, that's what your suits create. I mean, yeah, compression is the shit. But putting your body to gain 50 extra pounds just for compression, I think I told you this last time, it doesn't make any sense to me, because now you're 50 pounds heavier. You probably put maybe 60, 70 more pounds on one of your lifts. But now you're 50 pounds heavier. Where's your percentage? Is your percentage any better than your percentage when you're 50 pounds lighter? Because it doesn't really matter if that's a new weight, because now you are a new weight. So you got to erase that off the board and just look at your percentages.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if your percentage is not better, then you just gained 50 pounds and made yourself up super unhealthy for no damn reason. So sometimes it just kind of blows my mind, and it takes you a minute to kind of absorb what they're trying to say. But I was in a gym, and man, that's what he believed in. And I watched this guy go from being about 198, probably 200 pounds, and he gained 50 pounds, and he got to where he couldn't even tie his own shoes. He was miserable. He couldn't breathe. He caused stomach issues. He kind of went through hell.
Yeah.
And did his numbers go up? Yeah, they did. But nothing drastically. That 50 pounds was worth it. And being that miserable is worth it. So yeah, bodybuilders go through their miserable state looking lean, but the powerlifters actually go through their miserable state too, especially if they don't do it right. I mean, watch the Eddie Hall documentary. That is amazing to see, kind of like what strongmen and powerlifters go through. And he will even tell you, watch his diet. He ate Snickers. To feed him was like feeding like a herd of horses.
Yeah.
It's insane. And it wasn't healthy. It wasn't healthy foods. It wasn't like grilled chicken and stuff. It was just a bunch of junk and some healthy stuff, but a bunch of junk. And it almost killed him, and lifting the way he did and everything, he'll even say it drug him through hell, and it took him everything he got back. And now look at him. He looks amazing, rocking a 6-pack, still strong as hell. His numbers are still freaking amazing, and he's still an amazing lifter. And now he's healthy and he looks good because he did it right.
Yeah.
So that whole powerlifting mentality of where you can eat whatever you want, I find that horseshit. So you can, but you're not going to be healthy.
Right, because that, to be honest with you, of course, that's all I've seen. Because they say, I
bring in the donuts, bring in the little Debbies.
That's it. That's exactly right. That's right.
And you're miserable. You're miserable eating all that junk before you lift. I wouldn't even eat that junk before I lift. And I love little Debbies, man. Give me some Nutty Buddies. I'd kill a box, but not before I lift. There's no way.
Yeah. So the way you do your clients in powerlifting then is kind of going back to what you were saying as far as kind of a clean diet, because why are you going to gain 50 pounds if the percentages aren't going to be there?
Right. And they, like, I still let them, I have a really nice list, but I love macro diets. So I love carb cycling. I believe in carb cycling 100%. It's the most healthiest. It keeps your body healthy. It keeps you healthy. It keeps your mentality there. When you get on ketos, man, you mentally lose your shit towards the end of ketos.
Keto's tough.
I have never met anyone where they got close to a show and they were ketoing it and they were okay. They were gone. They were airy. There was just space. I felt so bad for them. But macros, I don't ever feel that way. I've never gone through that. And they're hungry, because you're building a beast of a metabolism. I mean, you're just refeeding and growing it, and you keep giving them more food. They keep losing weight. So it just becomes a beast, and they eat so much food, but they're getting food. They're getting healthy food, and they're losing weight and looking good while doing it. That is right there, good health. Like I said, bodybuilders, I'm not saying are healthy people either. We're super healthy until probably the week of the show.
Yeah.
And then I feel like we become the most unhealthiest people you ever see when we step on that damn stage. But we do it with a damn smile, and we come back. Most of us come back out of it pretty well.
That's right. You know how it is when you're on that stage. You're just smiling. Yeah. You're smiling the whole time.
You're like, after this, bitches, I'm getting a cookie. Hurry up and touch me. Leave.
Now, right now, you're coaching Andrew as far as going into the Open.
Yes.
And so, are you going to be taking on other clients right now?
As of right now, I am not, because I'm actually prepping for a show too. He was a special case. I wasn't taking on any clients. And then he just kind of jumped on my table and was like, I'm here. And and it's one of those ones where you're just like, if I don't get him, someone else will, because it's really weird when you're looking for an athlete. I look for athletes. I don't look for people to train. I look for actual athletes. So I look for dedication. And if you don't show me dedication, you're not a true athlete, and you will not make it in this damn sport, because this sport is not only about consistency, it's your dedication to that consistency.
That's right.
You don't have dedication of showing up at the gym every single day, or you don't have dedication in anything that I see valuable in a lifestyle of yours, then I don't see where you can do this, and I will not pick you up. But then when he told me his wonderful little story, which you did share on his podcast, I, as many other people that watched it, were just kind of floored. You're sitting here going, you lost all that weight from YouTube? That is what I picked up out of all of it. It's such a great fucking story, and I'm the asshole that goes, out of 30 minutes of listening to that, I picked up, you got it off YouTube. Out of all that, YouTube. And I'm sitting here going, dude, those are the most unsuccessful ways, is finding shit on the internet, because there's so many different ways to do it. To find the fact that he found a way to make it successful and work for him, and he stuck with it and just kept getting better and getting better. And then to say he's going to do a show and he doesn't even have a coach, how the hell am I going to pass that up?
Right.
I'm sitting here going, man, and I'm just sitting here and thinking, I'm like, I know I'm about to do a show. I don't need nobody else. And before my head is saying no, and my wonderful little heart is like, I'll coach you. And then here we are.
Now, but you're taking him on a good long prep. You know, you started him at what, 22 weeks or something like that,
So,
Carolyn?
yeah, I got him about 22, 23 weeks, and I usually like to do a 20-week cut, especially for natural competitors, because slow and steady, they're not going to lose as much muscle. They're going to be happier. I mean, yeah, you're dieting for 20 weeks, but I'm sorry, if this is really what you're going to do, it's not a diet, it's a lifestyle, so get used to it. Your first year is going to suck balls, and I'm not saying it gets any easier, but you get used to it.
Right.
And the things that used to drive you batshit crazy don't anymore. Will you actually pull that out of the oven? There's chicken in the oven.
You know,
speaking of.
That's right.
I found chicken. I'm not going to have to tackle anyone over it.
You know, it's funny because, you know, I had people texting me this morning. They were at one of the Walmart, and they were like, hey, they're unloading eggs.
Do you need any? So Matt texted me a picture of chicken. Do you need any chicken? I was like, well, I just picked up some, but yeah, grab me 4 more. I'll put that shit in my deep freeze. I don't care.
Right. You know, we got to have chicken. And then another friend of mine sent me a text said, hey, we got fish. There's fish everywhere. I guess nobody's buying fish. Everybody's they wanted the chicken and the beef.
I know. I'm okay as long as it's mahi-mahi, man. Fuck that. I can't do that tilapia. I will die. I can't. That was my very first year. I ate a lot of tilapia.
Oh, God. That's all I ate. Oh, man, it was awful.
And it's so not healthy for you.
Yes.
That nasty bottom feeder has nothing for you.
No. Now, let's talk about this real quick. You're an IPE Pro.
Yep.
So you've made the pro stage naturally. You did that. What was the kind of the deciding factor? I mean, because I really don't know the natural side, to be honest with you, Karen. So I don't know, once you become a pro, how the pro competitions are or anything like that. I don't know if money's awarded. I don't know anything on that side. So what kind of was it that drew you over to the NPC?
Well, the natural was really fun. I learned a lot. And the main thing was I was growing and I was getting bigger because I picked up that powerlifting. Powerlifting put size on me so quickly in a year. And it's so crazy what heavy lifting will do. I mean, I went from just kind of like repping it out, lightweights, body pump style is the best way I could explain it, because I was this little tiny bikini thing. And my very first show was not even 100 pounds on stage. So
Holy
when I say
smokes.
I was small, I'm not joking. I was tiny. I was still tall, but I was just tiny. And I don't know. I got addicted to powerlifting. Like there is something addictive to picking up heavy weight and being like, oh, shit, I just did that. Now it hurt like hell, but you're just like, I still did that. It's a weird accomplishment. It's just like going to each show and seeing the change in the body and stuff.
Yeah.
People look at you and they're like, you're fucking crazy. Why are you doing that? But in your mind, it's this weird accomplishment. You did this. You pushed your body to a limit that 90% of people cannot do. There's something that is just drawn to me with that. And that's the same with powerlifting. Not many girls can say they can bench 200 pounds.
Right.
Not many girls can say they can squat in the 300s or deadlift in the 300s. And I can. And I freaking love the fact that I can say that. So now I used to go around and being like all ripped out and being like, it's just for looks. I'm giant wiener and I can't even open a can of pickles or a jar of pickles. And I couldn't because I was a giant damn wiener. I was so weak. And he let me know it. I finally, it took a year. Powerlifting was one of the hardest things I've ever had to learn. One, I had a really hard coach that he's not a good coach because he wanted you to lift kind of like angry. So he tried to get into your head and twist it around and make you mad at him so you would lift it. And well, I'm a girl and I have feelings. That did not work with me. I don't lift angry. I'm a happy lifter. And you get me angry and you get me like unfocused, the lift is not going to happen. So a lot of the stuff that he was trying to teach me and stuff wasn't sinking in the way that it needed to. But it took a year and I did really good underneath him. His name was Milton. I did really good underneath him. And then we went to the Arnold one year. And then of course I was with all the power lifters. So we went to the powerlifting side of the Arnold and it was awesome. I met Lily Bridge, I met Dan Green. I'm sitting here watching the Ant, which is a 120-pound little tiny black guy, pick up 600 pounds and row it for like 6. And I'm sitting here going, it was the animal cage. So I'm just sitting here just floored. And then my back was killing me. And someone's like, Donnie Thompson's over here rolling. You should get rolled out. Ew, blah, 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 blah. And I didn't know what the hell body tempering was and rolled out meant. 2, I didn't realize that they were being mean to me because they knew it was going to hurt. So they thought it was going to be funny. So I'm sitting here going, oh, it's going to fix me. And they're like, this is going to be hilarious. So, of course, they let me go first, which was great because I was the last one to get rolled out. So none of them got to go.
Yeah.
So Donnie rolled me out and he ended up rolling me out with a 175-pound roller.
Oh, wow.
And I was tiny then. So I weighed probably about 125 pounds. So I had 175 pounds just rolling me out. And I was like, all right. But I'm not going to lie. Like, it decompressed my back. I was back. I was moving. Blood was flowing again. Things that was hurting weren't hurting anymore. And I just looked at him. I gave him a hug. I was like, you fixed me. Thank you. And we talked. And I took a bunch of pictures with him. And he's like, hey, send me those pictures. So I got online, sent him the pictures. And we started talking. And I was telling him about my squat, how hard it was. And I don't understand what spread the floor means. That killed me. I'm like, the floor it doesn't move. I tried to spread it and it just doesn't move. I don't know if this is magic, but apparently I'm not magic and I can't spread the floor. And he died laughing and he was all like, it's called torque, Carolyn. You torque the floor. He's like, and then so Donnie actually started training me online how to squat. So I record my squats and send them to Donnie, and Donnie would correct some of the form through online coaching type thing for me. And he's like, one day they were doing an ankle clinic for body tempering, and that's how I ended up getting into body tempering. He's like, come to my ankle clinic. I will train you for a couple days, sit you with Grony. Grony will train with you, and we'll get your squat and your bench going, and we'll get your coach off your back. Because Milton was mean to me at this point because I wasn't getting it. So I was like, okay. One, I just got invited out by the strongest man in the world, Mr. 3000 himself. So I'm sitting here going, that's free coaching from like the best in the world. I'm not saying no to that. So I'm like, okay. So I ended up flying down there. We did the ankle clinic, got obsessed with body tempering, aka where I am now.
Yep.
But I actually went for squats with him and Grony. They worked together on me. I went from 100 pounds that day to squatting 180 pounds with chain that day.
In one day?
In one day. Because I learned what torque was and what spread the floor meant. I learned placement of my bar and learning not only placement of the bar, but my body mechanics and where the bar needs to be placed due to my body mechanics. So again, learning where to put the loads to actually move it so I'm not breaking my lower back. And realizing that some of the stuff I was doing was actually okay for how tall I am. Because I'm not short. So, powerlifters, the shorter you are, the better you're going to do, because
Sure.
it's all about the length of travel. So the taller you are, the worse it gets. So yeah, I did that and then turned around and he helped me with my bench. And I don't remember the jump on the bench. It wasn't really big, but it taught me how to actually tuck in, use my triceps, do everything correctly. And it took all the pain out of my shoulders and all of that stuff. And then I also picked up a career while I was there. So me and him still talk like every other day. He became one of my really, really close friends, my mentor to this day, my coach. And like, he's the reason why I went to Westside. He's the reason why I know Dave Hoff. He's opened my world a huge amount to powerlifting and body tempering and just everything in general. So it was really, really cool to see how that got turned around from just running into the Arnold and hanging out with a bunch of local powerlifters and learning the fact that coaching is everything.
That's right. So not only did these guys become mentors, coaches, friends, they got you started in your career.
Yep.
In what you're doing now. And
Yes,
now you have your business located at the J Street Gym. Is that correct?
Uh-huh.
What's it called?
It's called CHOP, and it's Carl's House of Pain, and I'm Carl. Hey. I got that nickname a long time ago from that private gym. So
you did.
It works out really well. So I was like, and it was kind of funny because I didn't even name it. One of my very first clients named it. And he was like, oh my gosh. And they were just kind of like it was two clients batting back and forth about how the rollers feel and all this stuff. And the IT band, at the time being, I was on his IT band rolling out that wonderful thing. And you know how bad that hurts.
Oh man.
But we're getting them ready to squat. So we're loosening that up and getting blood into that area and getting him ready. That way he doesn't have to do 1,000 warm-up sets. And he was in tears. And he's like, Carl makes grown men cry. And then the other one's like, I know it's like House of Pain, right? And he's like, oh my God, and you're a chef. We need to call it CHOP. And I'm like,
there it is.
And I was dumb. I go, how do we call it CHOP? I'm sitting here going, that don't make no sense to me. And he's all like, Carl's House of Pain. And I was like, oh my God, I can dirty pun that all day. I love it. And you know me, I dirty pun the shit out of everything. So like that was right up my alley. And I was like, okay, yes. And we made it happen. And I made sure Donnie was okay with it because it is his body tempering logo and stuff on my product. So I'm sitting here going, Donnie, are you okay if I call it this? And he's all like, well, I don't know if you're going to get any clients, but man, sounds cool. Have at it. I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah, that's good.
And
that's awesome.
We have that window open so people see us roll out. They're curious on what's happening. And I've been busy ever since. I make it where people can see what I'm doing. They can understand it. They have any questions, they can walk in while I'm tempering somebody. It's definitely a strength training all in its own to get you up, mobile, and moving and ready to go for any type of lift. So it's perfect in a gym setting. I mean, it couldn't be any better of a pair right there being in there. So I'm really appreciative of J Street letting me be in there. And I know everybody else appreciates it too because they feel better.
I see a steady flow. When I'm in there working out, there's a lot of people going in.
Yeah, and the more that, and it's kind of going around word of mouth, and the more that people are like, holy crap, she got my numbers to move by doing this, this, and this. And it's crazy because a lot of people just don't realize when you're powerlifting, bodybuilding, especially bodybuilding is the worst because you grow so fast, right?
Yeah.
Powerlifting, you again grow so fast, but you're just always compressed and loaded down with so much weight. So your joints are compressed and everything's just, you're literally like 3 inches short when you come in, and I roll you out and you just gained your 3 inches back. But it is just one of those things where you don't have the mobility to do your moves. You have no mobility. One, you don't warm up. 90% of us don't warm up. I don't warm up half the time. I'm not going to lie. And I preach it. Self-care, blah, blah, blah.
I preach it.
I give it. That's what people pay me for. And I'm just sitting here going, do you roll yourself out? Every once in a while.
Right. That's exactly
And I feel like I need it.